Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The studio lights were brighter than usual that morning, sharp as 1,000 tiny suns reflecting off polished floors and glossy cameras. The familiar jingle rolled, upbeat and reassuring, the kind that promised comfort with your coffee. Millions tuned in expecting laughter, playful banter, the easy rhythm of a show that had become a daily ritual. No one expected the silence. Mark Consuelos stood at center stage, his posture relaxed, shoulders squared, smile practiced. He looked like the man viewers had known for decades, confident, charismatic, unshakable. But beneath the tailored jacket and the calm exterior, something trembled. It began as a flicker behind his eyes, a hesitation so small it might have gone unnoticed, except the camera caught everything. Kelly glanced at him instinctively. She knew that look. It wasn't nerves, it wasn't fatigue. It was something deeper, like a storm gathering behind glass. "Mark?" she asked lightly, trying to keep the moment afloat. He opened his mouth to respond. Nothing came out. The silence stretched. In living rooms across the world, hands paused mid-air, coffee cups hovering inches from lips. A producer's voice crackled faintly through an earpiece. The band stilled. The smiles froze. Mark swallowed, his jaw tightening. He laughed softly, the sound brittle. "Sorry," he said, voice rough. "Just give me a second." He took a breath, then another. And then, without warning, his knees buckled. Kelly lunged forward, catching his arm as he staggered. The camera stayed live. There was no time to cut away. Mark's hand gripped the desk as if it were the only solid thing in a world suddenly spinning too fast. His shoulders shook. The strong, steady presence millions admired folded inward, like a man carrying a weight too heavy to bear any longer. "I can't," he whispered. The words broke. Kelly wrapped her arms around him, her voice urgent, trembling. It's okay, we've got you." The audience gasped. Some stood. Others covered their mouths, eyes filling. At home, social media exploded in real time. Questions, prayers, fear rippling like wildfire. Mark tried to straighten, tried to regain control. He had spent a lifetime mastering his emotions, presenting strength even when things hurt. But this wasn't a role. This was real. "I'm sorry," he said again, tears streaking down his face now. "I didn't plan for this." Kelly's eyes glistened, but she stayed steady, her hand firm on his back. "You don't have to be sorry," she said softly. "You don't owe anyone anything." For a moment, the studio felt suspended outside of time. The world wasn't watching a celebrity anymore. They were witnessing a human being unravel under the weight of something unseen. The director finally cut to a wide shot, then to commercial. But it was too late. The moment had already etched itself into memory. Backstage, the noise of the studio faded into a distant hum. Mark sat on a low couch, elbows on knees, head in his hands. A medic hovered nearby, asking gentle questions. Kelly knelt in front of him, her forehead pressed to his knuckles. "What happened?" she whispered. Mark shook his head slowly. "I thought I could do it. I really did." "Do what?" "Hold it together." He exhaled shakily, eyes red-rimmed. "I've been carrying something for a long time, smiling through it, joking through it, telling myself it would pass." Kelly squeezed his hands. "You don't have to carry it alone." He looked at her then, truly looked at her, as if seeing her for the first time that morning. "I was afraid," he admitted, "afraid that if I said it out loud, it would become real." She nodded, understanding without needing details. Love like theirs was built on shared silences as much as shared words. The producer approached cautiously. "We can end the show early, or Kelly can rap solo, whatever you need." Mark took a deep breath. He glanced towards the stage, the cameras, the unseen audience waiting on the other side of the screen. Fear flickered across his face, then resolve. "No," he said quietly. "I need to go back out there." Kelly searched his eyes.
He nodded.
"Are you sure?"
"If I don't, I'll regret it." When the show returned from break, the mood had changed entirely. The music was softer, the lights warmer. Kelly stood alone at first, addressing the audience with honesty that cut through the air. "Thank you for your patience," she said. "What you saw wasn't planned, but it was real." Mark joined her moments later, moving slowly but deliberately. The applause that followed wasn't loud, it was reverent. People rose to their feet, not as fans, but as witnesses to courage. He took the microphone, hands shaking. "I've spent my life entertaining, making people laugh, being the strong one. Today, I wasn't strong." A murmur rippled through the audience. And that terrified me, because we live in a world that celebrates strength and hides pain, especially for men, especially on television. Kelly reached for his hand. He held on tightly. "I've been dealing with something deeply personal," Mark said, "and instead of facing it, I buried it under work, under smiles, under the idea that I had to be okay for everyone else." His voice cracked again, but this time he didn't pull away from it. "This morning," he said, "my body reminded me that pretending has a cost." The silence that followed was heavy, sacred. "I'm not here to explain everything," he added, "not yet, but I am here to say this. If you're watching and you're holding something inside, thinking you have to be strong alone, you don't." Tears streamed freely now, from audience members, from crew, from people watching miles away. Social media slowed, the usual snark replaced by raw empathy. Kelly wiped her cheeks, smiling through tears. "I'm so proud of you," she said simply. Mark laughed softly, the sound steadier this time. "I'm scared," he admitted, "but I'm also relieved." The applause that followed again, louder now, the sound wrapping around him like a promise. In the days that followed, the clip spread everywhere. Headlines struggled to capture the moment. Unscripted, unfiltered, unforgettable. Fans shared their own stories of panic attacks, grief, exhaustion, silent battles fought behind closed doors. Therapists praised the vulnerability. Parents hugged their children tighter. Strangers checked in on each other. Mark released a brief statement later that week. He thanked viewers for their kindness and emphasized that he was taking time to rest and reflect. He didn't name the weight he'd been carrying. He didn't have to. The message was clear enough. Strength, he had shown, doesn't always look like standing tall. Sometimes it looks like falling, on camera, in front of the world, and choosing to stand back up honestly. Kelly posted a photo days later. No glam, no studio lights, just the two of them on a quiet morning walk, hands intertwined, sunlight filtering through trees. The caption read, "Still standing, together." Fans flooded the comments with hearts, tears, gratitude. Because in that heart-stopping moment, when Mark Consuelos crumbled live on screen, something unexpected happened. He didn't break. He opened a door, and through it poured compassion, understanding, and a reminder the world desperately needed, that even the strongest among us are allowed to be shown. Doesn't always look like standing tall. Sometimes it looks like falling, on camera, in front of the world, and choosing to stand back up, honestly. Kelly posted a photo days later. No glam, no studio lights, just the two of them on a quiet morning walk, hands intertwined, sunlight filtering through trees. The caption read, "Still standing, together." Fans flooded the comments with hearts, tears, gratitude. Because in that heart-stopping moment, when Mark Consuelos crumbled live on screen, something unexpected happened. He didn't break. He opened a door, and through it poured compassion, understanding, and a reminder the world desperately needed, that even the strongest among us are allowed to be human.